I've been working on my turnip army for a few weeks now, and it's been really, really fun. But also it means I haven't really done anything else hobby-wise. And packages have come in. I haven't really had the chance to look at any of them yet. And I've just got a bunch of little projects here and there that I want to get to. One of them's this little mystery box. I got this at a sort of secret Santa at Turn Up for Turnip, the event that I painted my turnip army for. And I haven't opened this yet because I wanted to do it on camera. Everyone was opening theirs as soon as they got it. And I just took one of them and took it home with me. And so I want to open this with you, and maybe we can do something with this today. Let's see. Ooh, it's a Dragon Shield deck box, which is a very nice idea to get pretty packaging. Like these, they're actually very useful. Oh my god. What the hell? That is the coolest I could have... I don't even know what to say. Okay, just look at it. What the hell? It's metal as well? Guys, magic is real. This is the coolest mini. What is this? This is so cool. Actually, wait, that is so nice. Look at that. It's some sort of harpy, and it's a metal miniature. And I don't know if this is like a kit bash or if someone's bought this, but it's amazing. Okay. Well, yeah, obviously I want to paint this today. Let's do that. Okay, well, before we paint this, I did want to show you some other stuff. I went to Battlefield, which is like the coolest miniature store in Berlin. And sometimes they'll resell some models from other people coming into the store. And so I got some of those. I got this guy for half off MSRP. This is the Vargulf Courtier. I actually covered this in our last members exclusive video where me and my brother ranked all of the Flesh Eater Quartz models, and I quite like this one. So when I saw that it was on sale for it was like 18 euros, I snatched this up. And so this is the other thing I got. These spirits, I saw these and I thought they were really cool. These spirit hosts, I've got the old ones and now I've got the new ones. They had a whole bunch of these, and so I got two. And the funny thing is, I was standing in front of them and I was there with Phil, and I was telling Phil, oh, those look really cool. I might get some of those. And he was like, thank you. And so it turned out these are his. He had painted them and was selling them. So yeah, I could have just gotten them from him if I would have been a little bit earlier. But yeah, I think they're really cool. The bases almost match my Soulblight and Nighthaunt stuff. So I'll just retouch the bases and I'll leave the rest because the paint job's pretty killer already. And then I'll have some like Blood Revenant ghost thingies for D&D, I guess. All right, well, let's paint this turkey man. So first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of some of this cork on the base. I see what the original owner was trying to do, but I think we can improve the read of it a little bit because right now it's all kind of piled up between the legs. And I want to just make it look a little bit more natural and less sort of intentional. So I took all of the cork that was on there and I sort of ripped it into smaller pieces and then attached those with some super glue. And then I covered all of that with some texture paste. This is Sterling Mud. It's a Citadel texture paste, and I quite like how small the grains of sand are on it. I decided I didn't want the feathers to be red, but I did like the idea of having red skin. It sort of looks really freaky and unnatural, and you do get that with some birds sometimes where they'll have like very garish skin colors. And so I thought having this red skin could be cool. I did a simple dry brush on all of the feathers to bring those out with like a light tan color and then an off-white, almost bone color. Dry brushing gets a bad rep sometimes, and you know, it can look quite messy, but I think as long as you don't leave it there, it's a good first step. I'm gonna tone it all down with this wash. I applied like a brown wash all over the whole miniature, so the red and the tan. And then I take some Wildwood contrast paints and I do what's known as glazing here. So I apply that towards the edges of the wings. And then after some cleanup, I go back in and I do manual edge highlights of the most prominent feathers. And this makes our dry brush kind of look more intentional. So I don't have to do each and every single edge highlight on these, but just placing some lines where they're very noticeable will make it all look very, very finished. The whole base gets coated in a gray paint and then washed as well. And after that I dry brush it with some tan colors. This is Carrack Stone and Screamer Skull. And while I've got that Screamer Skull on the palette, I decide to paint the eyes as well. For newer painters, this is often very, very challenging. I advise you just paint the eye socket dark and then take your time with it. You can always go back and redo it if it doesn't look great. At this point I also decided to paint some individual teeth because I needed some detail in that area. And now I'm highlighting the red skin. So I've got like a classic red triad of like increasingly lighter red tones going towards more of a warmer orange tone. And with my first highlight I do sort of a volumetric highlight where I try to aim for like large surfaces that are facing the top of the model, or like the face and the hands. And then with the highlights that follow, I like to go very sort of heavy metal style and do little edge highlights and little dot highlights. And this is the very last highlight, which is like a flesh color. And this, you can see here how I'm just dotting like the very, very edges and little outmost points of all of those small details. And this will make your mini look really crisp and very sharp. Really, edge highlighting, oftentimes people will say it's difficult, but as you can see here, you don't have to do that much for the effect to be really noticeable. What you're aiming for is contrast. I then painted all of the metal details as well as the hair with a matte black. I like black as a base for metals because the metallic paints tend to be a little bit sort of translucent sometimes. For this sort of cord that's hanging around the harpy's neck, I decided to paint this like it's some sort of bluish, maybe leather. And so I'm highlighting up with increasing blue-gray tones. Increasing in brightness, that is. And once that's done, I decide to take the same highlight color and give all of the nails an individual tiny little highlight on the feet as well. And then I base all of the metal parts in this necro gold, I think it's called. It's like a very nice sort of desaturated old gold tone that I really like for stuff like this. And it's a good base for like brass or gold. And here you can see how I've applied all of that and how the mini's looking so far. It's still quite shiny, but we'll get rid of that with a matte varnish in the end. And now the final step for me is to paint some tiny little pupils into those already pretty small eyes. And they're not perfect, but you know, they're good enough. This is not a display piece. I'm not going to enter it into any competitions. And so I'm fine with that. And this final highlight is Stormhost Silver, so just a very bright silver. I find always works really well for all metals. Now before we look at the finished model, I want to share with you today's sponsor, which is Moonshot Miniatures. And they are launching their first ever Frontiers campaign with all of these beautiful miniatures. It's a whole army of moon wizards. Oh my god, I love these. When I saw these on Instagram a while back, I knew I had to do something with these. I just love the retro charm and the hand sculpted feel these have. And so I actually got the STLs for all of these minis and I'm gonna be painting some of them in upcoming videos. I think what Moonshot Miniatures are doing is so incredibly cool. I cannot wait to see what else they come up with. I know they're working on other ranges, other armies as well. Maybe this could become a whole game system at some point. Right now it's just these really, really awesome miniatures and you can get these for yourself so you can print some of them. I think I want to add some of these moonlings to my turnip army. So check out the Frontiers campaign, it's still currently running. The link is in the description down below. Alright, with the world's coolest sponsor out of the way, let's look at the finished miniature, but first, I want to magnetize it, and while I've got all of this magnetization stuff sort of hanging around, I wanted to take the opportunity and magnetize some of my older models And I'm doing this so I can store them in my modular storage boxes. These are all completely magnetized, and the files for these are available for free if you're a member of the channel. And now finally, let's take a look at the finished harpy. There she is. I'm so happy with the result. I really like that I stuck with the red skin. It makes it feel a lot more mythical. It sort of reminds me of like old Japanese yokai depictions. Really cool. I could not be happier with the mini that I got in this mini swap. I was hoping for a metal mini because those always feel like special things. I couldn't really tell from the weight of the box because it was so big. Really happy that it ended up being what it was. It's my first and my only harpy miniature. So if I ever want to run a harpy or like a similar monster in D&D, now I can, and the mini will have a really nice story behind it. That's really cool. Go do a miniature Secret Santa, like a little miniature swap with your friends. If you're hosting an event, do the same thing Garrett did and just have a table where people can leave a mini and take one home. And that way everybody gets to get rid of some stuff they might not be using and get some new stuff they might want to use. I think it's a really good idea. It's always a great feeling opening up a brand new mini and just getting straight to it and just painting it in like 1 or 2 sessions. And then you have a brand new miniature in your collection. To my right here, I've got a box of stuff that arrived a few days ago. I've been waiting for that for a long time, so that'll be the next video. Thank you all of the members for signing up and supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. I hope you're enjoying the members exclusive videos. The last one was really fun to make. In my last video, I shared some more snippets of my interview with Wingshan from Twisted Spire. The full uncut interview will also be uploaded for members. We spoke for a long time and there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. So if that's something you're interested in and you're a member, that's great. You'll get that for free. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, stay kind, and paint some minis.